right, so for this month's movement of the month, we are going to do toe walks with a reach, okay? So what that's gonna look like is a nice, coming up on the toes, okay? And reaching nice and long and up with your arms, but mostly with your spine, okay? So we're thinking about creating more space and length in the back of your spine, in the front of your spine, and in the sides of your spine, all at the same time, all while staying nice and connected through the ball of your feet, base of the big toe, base of the little toe, heels stay up, nice and long, nice and long, nice and long. And then once you feel that length, you can walk, staying nice and tall and long as you walk, okay? And as you keep that length in your spine and you walk on your toes, you're gonna feel nice and long and stretch through the front of your hips. You're gonna feel like you can get a little bit better hip extension out of your hips as you go through that walk. Okay, so why are we doing this? Okay, one of the biggest reasons is for anybody who really struggles to get into that supinated high heel sort of terminal knee extension position, okay, where we have the heel up, the knee is extended, the hip is extended, and we're in a nice long reach, okay? That can be a big challenge for a lot of people, okay? So for what this exercise does is it sort of breaks it down a little bit, and I'm gonna break it down a little bit further, where I'm gonna have you start with just up against a wall here, where you can reach up the wall, so you have a little bit more balance, you have a little bit of support that you can touch on, and you're gonna get up on those toes, and you're gonna get long, 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 like you're crawling your arms up the wall, and you're trying to anchor your pelvis here while everything above it gets really long. So I'm anchoring the ball of the foot, I'm anchoring the pelvis, and I'm reaching and lifting my spine up and away from the pelvis. Okay, once you feel like you can do that on the wall, you can stay long through your spine and come up and down on your toes, and just practice keeping that really long spine and forcing yourself to sort of push out of your feet to bring you straight up and down. Okay, this is really gonna help strengthen the feet. And then you can kind of take your arms away from the wall and see if you can just reach and stay balanced and nice and long and tall in that high heel position. Then you can go into the walk, okay? And you can practice staying nice and long and tall as you go into that walk, okay? And then you can add a weight, okay? So then we can hold this overhead, get nice and long and reaching, and sometimes this gives you some nice feedback to sort of reach into, high on those heels, walk, 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 okay? So spine staying nice and long, and we're getting used to finding that hip extension in a nice natural way by not allowing the back to interfere, okay? We're staying nice and long through the back, okay? Long, all right? So long, I don't know how many times I said long in that, but that's the idea. I really, really enjoyed it this week. I've been playing around with it, and it's really been helpful, like I said, for sort of, you know, going into some of these more athletic positions where we're trying to get onto a high heel. It just sort of breaks it down a little bit more, makes it a little bit more attainable, gets the muscle memory, sensory memory, all that kind of fun stuff. So give that a try and let me know what you think.